On October 30, 1967, the Hitachi company dismissed Mr. Hideyuki Tanaka for a single refusal to work overtime. For the last 26 years, Mr. Tanaka has been struggling with Hitachi to have his dismissal repealed. A splendid disobedient son, Hideyuki Tanaka, the man who said no to Hitachi. Mr. Tanaka received a phone call from a journalist on November 28, 1991. It was at this time that he first learned of the Supreme Court ruling in his case. The Supreme Court ruled that Hitachi's dismissal of Mr. Tanaka for refusing overtime was justifiable. The decision was seen as a major setback for advocates of shorter working hours. The decision also shocked people in foreign countries. Before and after the Supreme Court decision, Mr. Tanaka's case had been reported overseas. A Belgian television program introduced Mr. Tanaka's case on a program about Japan's overworked workers. His case has become famous as a symbol of the long working hours that have fueled Japan's rise as a major international economic power. This is Hitachi's Musashi plant located in Kodaira City, Tokyo. In the 1960s, the Musashi plant was a major producer of transistors and a huge moneymaker for Hitachi. At the time, the production of transistors relied on young workers. Mr. Tanaka had been working in quality control at Hitachi's low-frequency division. But on October 30, 1967, he was fired simply because of a single incident of refusing to work overtime. In February 1993, the People's Tribunal to judge the Supreme Court and the Hitachi Company was held. Participants staged a play dramatizing Mr. Tanaka's dismissal. This was the opening volley in Mr. Tanaka's battle against his unjust dismissal.
Well, Mr. Tanaka, there's something amiss about the product invoice you submitted. I want you to work overtime and do a recount. Overtime? I've got plans to meet a friend, so I want to get off by 5 o'clock. That's an order. Are you saying you want to obey it? I didn't say I wouldn't do it. I said I can't do it today, but I'll do it tomorrow. No, not tomorrow, today. That's an order. I've got to go. You refuse? You think you can get away with this kind of behavior at Hitachi? Well, right. I'll put you on suspension for a while. You call this a written apology? On September 6th, I had a dispute with my boss about overtime work. I was upset and told him I would not work overtime and could not do responsible work anymore, and went home. I have deeply reflected on the matter. Is this your apology? This one, Drew. You'll be suspended for 2 weeks because of your refuse to work overtime. In principle, I think employees should decide whether they will work overtime or not. I can't agree that employees must obey the company's orders at all times. There's no way we can accept such thinking. It's outrageous. You know the company's labor policy, don't you? It says that the company can dismiss employees who, despite repeated reprimands for negligence on the job, are not repentant. I think this applies in your case.
Hitachi's dispute with its workers turned violent. First, the company turned fire hoses on workers who were distributing leaflets that explained the Tanaka's case to employees. Eventually, Mr. Tanaka himself became a target of the company's violence. This is the Seishin dormitory for single employees who work at Hitachi's Musashi plant. Hitachi girls attacked Mr. Tanaka, who was taking photographs from the dormitory's terrace. Mr. Tanaka was taken to the employee lounge, where he was beaten and kicked by guards. At Hitachi, such incidents were commonplace. Hitachi's Yamate plant was established in Hitachi City, Ibaraki Prefecture, as a part of the electronic repairs division of the Hitachi Mine Company. This is the Kumano Shrine located near the Yamate plant. The shrine is dedicated to state Shinto and is thought to protect Hitachi's plants. All Hitachi plants have such Shinto shrines where Hitachi employees pray not only for the success of Shinto but for the company. At Hitachi, worker training is based in the spirit of state Shinto that was made in Meiji era and worships Tenno. Hitachi employees attend lectures conducted by the training groups that are imbued with the militaristic spirit of pre-Japan. In winter, at the Isuzu River, workers undergo misogi, a kind of spiritual training that cleanses the body and mind through immersion in cold water. Since the initial provision proceeding, Mr. Tanaka has appealed his case to the Supreme Court 5 times. The court deliberated on whether his dismissal was justified on the basis of office regulations and Article 36 of the Labor Standards Law. It took the position that overtime was an exception and that even if there was an agreement between the company and the trade union over working hours. At the trial, Hitachi attacked Mr. Tanaka, labeling him a problem employee. But during the trial, it was also learned that he had once received a commendation from the company. Mr. Tanaka lost his case at the second hearing of his original lawsuit by the Tokyo High Court. In fact, a judicial assembly of lower court judges was convened prior to the High Court decision. Using the Tanaka case as a model, the Supreme Court had these lower court judges review judicial precedents. Its conclusion was the same as the judgment later rendered by the High Court. The Tokyo High Court's ruling laid the groundwork for intervention by the Supreme Court. The Judicial Assembly's conclusion was taken up by the Supreme Court. That is, workers are obligated to work overtime. The Supreme Court Chief Justice Yotsuya presided over the Tanaka's case. Indeed, it was Judge Yotsuya who headed the meeting of the lower court judges. The Tanaka's trial clearly reveals that the Supreme Court violated the principle of judicial independence. An economic commentator, Mr. Makoto Sataka, states his comment.
I think that Mr. Tanaka's struggle is a struggle to restore human rights guaranteed by the Japanese Constitution. His case is forcing Japanese companies to confront the fact that they ignore the Japanese Constitution and human rights. Japanese courts side with the companies, so the Supreme Court renders outrageous decisions. In its ruling in the Tanaka's case, the Japanese Supreme Court showed itself to be, on the contrary, a truly base court. I think Mr. Tanaka's struggle is directly related to movements to protect Article 9 of the Japanese Constitution that renounces war, or those movements that seek to obstruct Japan's participation in overseas peacekeeping operations. If these movements do not support struggles like Mr. Tanaka's, they will lack substance.
Professor of Tsuda College, Douglas Lamy states his comment.
There are some points about the case that I find particularly frightening. One is that Japanese companies believe that they have the right to use their employees 24 hours a day. That is, they believe the employee belongs to the company. This kind of thinking exists not only in Japan, but America as well. However, in America, it exists in the military. Military organizations can freely use the soldiers' time, but such a thing is unthinkable in civilian life. Another point, as I understand it, is that Mr. Tanaka refused to work overtime once, but he accepted the punishment of a 2-week suspension. Moreover, he was forced to write a letter of apology, but he didn't do it. Why not? Because he didn't think he was wrong. That is, he was dismissed because his thoughts were wrong. This means that the company had the right to manage even the thoughts of its employees. I think this is basically a problem of freedom of thought. I think Mr. Tanaka's movement is fighting for not only his own human rights, but for democracy in Japan. If his movement succeeds, I believe his victory will not only substantially improve labor conditions, but also political conditions throughout Japan. I think this is its significance.
Joining forces with the National Union of Miscellaneous Workers, Mr. Tanaka expanded his struggle. His base of support widened from his hometown of Santama, attracting support from around the nation. After the Supreme Court decision, the Joint Committee of Trade Unions has expanded and strengthened its support for Mr. Tanaka. Mr. Takeshi Oe, president of the National Confederation of Trade Unions, was elected a chairman of the Joint Committee that was formed to lend support to Mr. Tanaka's struggle. Demonstrations in support of Mr. Tanaka are staged in front of Hitachi's corporate headquarters. Mr. Tanaka's case has become a symbol for workers who want to reduce working hours. Support for Mr. Tanaka continues to grow. Over 2,000 signatures from scholars and researchers have been collected. Signatures have also been collected from women. Supporting Mr. Tanaka is to take the time for him and his family back from business society. The movement has also spread overseas. In 1991, Mr. Tanaka and some lawyers visited the United States to gain support. And in 1992, Mr. Tanaka appealed to the United Nations Human Rights Committee in Geneva. His appeal generated a great deal of interest and media attention. The National Centre of Trade Unions in Scotland filed a petition in support of Mr. Tanaka. His struggle has spread with international support. Mr. Tanaka visited several universities and informed his struggle to the students. Mr. Tanaka talked to students about Hitachi's violence and no support from Hitachi's trade union. It was the unbelievable facts for students.
Are such things common in Japanese companies? Yes, I think they are. In 1973, I was caught and taken to a room and beaten. Afterwards, similar incidents occurred at other companies, like Ishikawajima Harima Heavy Industries, where workers were humiliated and beaten, and at Nissan.
It seems so strange. It's only natural that trade unions should protect workers. It's unfortunate that the Hitachi trade union sided with the company. The Joint Committee of Trade Unions supporting Mr. Tanaka's trial has taken active measures to publicize the case at universities. Since Hitachi's recruitment efforts are aimed at attracting superior university graduates, it's concerned that the bad publicity campaign has tarnished its public image. Hitachi used this manual to counter statements printed in leaflets critical of the company. Hitachi also ran a two-page advertisement in newspapers to recruit workers. Many Hitachi employees were stunned by the advertisement because they know actual conditions. Hitachi has been seriously hit by the current recession. Although Hitachi had saved over 1,490 billion yen in internal reserves, it forces its workers to put in long hours and to accept layoffs, temporary transfers, and job relocations. In effect, Hitachi has sought to climb out of the recession on the backs of its workers. Under these conditions, some changes have occurred inside the company. 9 women have filed a lawsuit to redress sex-based pay discrimination at Hitachi's central laboratory and elevator systems. An additional 19 employees are also seeking redress for pay disparities. A New Year's party to raise support for Mr. Tanaka was held. Today, we 9 workers are able to file a lawsuit because of the efforts of Mr. Tanaka, who was fired from his job because he only once refused to work overtime. If there is not Mr. Tanaka's struggle, we might have given up our struggle. We will carry on our struggle until the company regrets it fired Mr. Tanaka and its discrimination against women. We are resolved to continue the struggle until Mr. Tanaka is rehired and sexual discrimination in the workplace disappears. Please support us. This is a letter from Mrs. Enomoto. My husband works for a company that sells shampoo and scissors to beauty shops. Last year, the company cut 100,000 yen from bonuses and 3,000 yen from monthly salaries, because stock inventories amounted to less than 20 million yen. Most of the young workers quit. My husband couldn't stand it, so he appealed to the workers to unite to fight the company. I have been encouraging my husband. I told him that Mr. Tanaka and many other workers are fighting for their rights. After 3 months, I was about to give up hope. But the workers finally resolved to fight the company. They produced a petition that everybody signed that said, if the company dismisses even a single employee, they would all quit. As a result, the wage cut was rescinded and workers received a 3,000 yen raise. Thank you very much, Mr. Tanaka. This is Mr. Tanaka's hometown, Kobuchizawa District in Yamanashi Prefecture. On holiday, Mr. Tanaka and his wife visit his home, where he lived until he graduated high school.
When it snowed, I used to take my handmade skis on the slopes. I'd skate on the fields around here. Now, it's a skating rink. I used to pick flowers, pink Chinese milk veg. And in summer, I caught kobe crabs and mud snails. I miss it very much.
They visit Mr. Tanaka's mother, who now lives alone. She lost her husband in the war and alone raised her son Hideyuki and his 3 siblings. When she learned of the Supreme Court's decision, she phoned her son and told him to do his best. When he was in high school, we were very poor. Still, I managed to put him through high school. When I put an egg in his bowl, he refused to eat it. He said, "I'll only eat when the mom eats." He thought that I pretended that I didn't want to eat. We were that poor. I think most people would take another job if they were fired, if their mother was that poor. I've asked him to stop his struggle many times, but he doesn't listen. He's really an inconsiderate son. I guess everybody thinks so. He says, "It's hard for mom to die, 'cause you're always worrying about me. While I'm struggling against the company, mom won't die. Mom can live long 'cause of me. You're such a disobedient son. I've watched over you the best I could." How many years has it been? 24? 25? I can't die, but maybe I'll pass away tonight. I always say that you'll be the one to miss me the most. I'm sure that you'll grieve the hardest of all my children when you realize all the trouble you caused me. How much you made me worry about you.
I have loved to sing when I was a kid. If I hadn't been involved fighting my dismissal, I think I would have been involved in the song movement based on the workers and students. To think that I could have been singing songs with friends instead of running around going to trade unions asking for support. I'm extremely angry at Hitachi because it ruined my life.
In November 1992, a general rally was held to seek victory in the Tanaka's case. Today, 86 strikers from 10 different work sites have taken struggles against Hitachi. Mr. Oe extended his greetings.
26 years have lapsed since Mr. Tanaka's struggle began. But he will continue his fight against Hitachi. We'd like to extend our hearty greetings. Thank you, Mr. Tanaka, for your fight. I've devoted my life to the struggle. When I heard I had lost the case, I was very disappointed. What have I done these last 26 years? I thought I had done grave harm to the workers of Japan. That's why I want to win. Once the person who fired me realizes he was wrong, the Supreme Court decision will not be valid, and my struggle will come to an end. I've visited America and Geneva. People around the world are astonished when they hear about my case. I'll fight this abnormal company. I'll do my best to make Japan a human society and to create a workplace where we can enjoy our work. Thank you very much.
Our family has lived these 26 years without having dinner with him. I wanted to drink tea with my husband, but we couldn't. It's been like that for 26 years. But thanks to your support, my husband has continued his struggle. Please support my husband. Thank you.
どうぞ夫に力を貸してあげてください。よろしくお願いいたします。
ますか一人の若者が残業言葉に首を切られました信じてくれますか嘘だと思うでしょう
Mr. Tanaka sings a song. Do you believe it? Hitachi Company dismissed me for a single refusal to work overtime. I have been fighting against the company to have my dismissal repealed for 26 years. He's singing his struggle with the melody of A Million Roses. Please give me your support. Please petition against my dismissal.
できることは一つ何もかも捨てて戦い続けること誰も知らない心の痛みを笑顔に変えて訴え歩くこと署名をくださいありったけの署名をください最高を認めた判決許すなと
残業収入が3万円から4万円も減っている今深刻な状況であります私たちもスーパーアンケートの結果
田中さんの
Mr. Tanaka's struggle is no longer one man's struggle. Working people and ordinary citizens have united to secure their freedom to enjoy life after work and to work under humane conditions. Hitachi's violence is unforgivable. Don't permit the Supreme Court's decision against workers and citizens. Mr. Tanaka's struggle will continue until he is victorious and human dignity is restored. This film was presented by the Joint Committee of Trade Unions supporting Mr. Tanaka's trial against Hitachi Company and produced by Nihon Denpa News in 1993.